Hey VC, Jack here. Welcome to Vinyl Martini. I am back from my camping and my fishing, as I mentioned in my last video. And I was exhausted for the last few days. I'm finally able to do a video because I had to do some stuff around the house, take care of some chores. But I'm going to find time to do this video, Summer Vinyl Tag, and happy to do it. But the fishing trip to let you know, it was fantastic. We had fantastic weather, great luck. We brought home a cooler full of Chinook salmon, and they were fighting, and we had good size, and we had a good time. Lots of fishing stories. And now is not the time to talk about that, but maybe I'll talk about that in another video. Anyways, like I said, I'm going to do the summer vinyl tag, and vinyl tags are some of my favorite things to do on the VC. They're so much fun. The questions were set up by Dylan from Noble Records. You know Dylan, he doesn't know me from a hole in the ground because he's one of the biggies up there. He's got over 100,000 subscribers. But that's okay. He doesn't have time to watch us little guys. And he's a busy family guy, and he's running a shop, etc. But he took the time out to put out 20 questions, and I'm happy to try and answer some of them. So again, 20 questions. I'm going to give my first answer a little out of order because this is number 17. And it's a channel shout out. And I'm going to give it at the beginning of this video because I know a lot of people, 2.5 minutes, they turn the video off, they get bored. So right away, I want to give out my shout out. So the channel is Ernest Elridge, the Trailer Park Pimp. He's got a great channel. He's only got 91 subscribers. He deserves so many more. He has a great crate digger. He shows great country albums, great bluegrass albums, and those aren't the only genres he shows, but he does such a fantastic job finding these obscure albums. I really enjoy his videos. He's got a great straight-ahead style, shows some fantastic stuff, and he certainly deserves way more than 91 subscribers. So I'm going to, of course, put him down on the subscription below, so give him a sub and let's get him up to a couple of hundred, man. He has got a great channel and a really nice guy. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this so that I don't miss any of the questions, which I normally do in Vinyl Tag. First question is an album with summer in the name. Well, I'm going to go with The Hissing of Summer Lawns by Joni Mitchell. Fantastic record that does not get talked up enough in the VC. This is one of the Joni Mitchell albums you should have in your collection if you're a fan. 3 Joni Mitchell albums that you can't do without in your collection are Blue, Hissing of Summer Lawns, and Hejira. 3 fantastic records, and this is a 1975 release. Just fantastic. Look at that cover. I'll take the jacket off. It is a gatefold. Of course, another painting by Joni. She's such a good artist in so many ways. Beautiful picture of Joni in the swimming pool, and a great album you should not be without. Do you see this around at a good price and a good condition? Pick it up. You will not be disappointed. Next, your latest heavy pull. Well, this is one of the latest albums I got. I got it at Purchase Street Records. Roger, I'm wearing your t-shirt. Thank you so much from my last trip to MGK Kegger Party. This is the Magpie Salute, a project by Rich Robinson from the Black Crowes when he is in the outs with his brother Chris, which happens from time to time. They don't seem to like each other very much, but double record, fantastic, great, huge band there. They do some covers, they do some Black Crow records. This is great Southern rock heat, fantastic. And this is a 2017 release on Circle Sound. Pick it up if you ever get a chance and you don't recognize the name, but it is sort of an offshoot of the Black Crowes. Fantastic. Heavy heat indeed. Next up, a Whack-A-Mole album. Okay, I'll do a Whack-A-Mole album. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'll just reach out behind me here. Oh, Tom Rush, At the End of the Rainbow. Love Tom Rush. Find Tom Rush albums. He's a singer, songwriter, folk, country kind of guy from, I think he's from New Hampshire, either Vermont or New Hampshire. I pick up Tom Rush albums whenever I run across them. Usually they're pretty well priced. This is on Columbia from 19, I'm going to take a guess and say from 1970. Tom Rush, At the End of the Rainbow. Great, great artist. Next, an album cover with an animal on it. Well, how about another prog psych band, Atomic Rooster. This is on Dawn. This is a British press that I've had since forever. Yeah, who's on this? Atomic Rooster, Chris Farlow, Rick Parnell, Vincent Crane, the mainstay, and Steve Bolton. This is from 1973, and great drawing of the Atomic Rooster on that cover. An album with a great story. Well, this might take a while, but I'm going to show you a Rolling Stones record, and it's only rock and roll, 1974. Not their best album by any means. I think they were a little bit tired there. The songs are not that great, although everybody loves the song It's Only Rock and Roll. I happen to think this is probably one of their worst releases. But anyways, the story behind the record, you can see that I did a little bit of a crunch there. So the story behind this is, at one time, a very young man who was about 19 years old decided to get a tattoo. A bunch of us decided to get a tattoo. And back in 1974, I guess 1974, there were not places that said shops on the street like there are now, which says tattoos, so-and-so tattoo shop. They were kind of underground. It was not a body art back in the days. Those were tattoos for bikers, outlaws, and people that were on the fringe. I wanted to get a Rolling Stone insignia, the tongue insignia. And I thought that going to this place, the fellow wouldn't know what a Rolling Stone tongue was. So I cut this out and had this little, the tongue used to be on the corner, took it with me thinking that I would show him and he could reproduce it. Well, this was about 1:30 in the morning. I'm not going to say that we were under the influence. I'm just going to say that we had a very good time. We were feeling very good. So about 1:30 in the morning, we get in our car and we go to this place. And the place we went to was the home of a member of the Satan's Choice who was their tattoo artist. Satan's Choice was a motorcycle club from the early 70s. They no longer exist. I think they got subsumed by the Hells Angels or whatever. When we got there, lo and behold, the lights were off. The lower level of the house was where the studio was. And we decided to, we're going to rouse the tattoo artist out, get him out of bed, give him a little bit of business. Well, somebody was knocking on the door rather loudly. He came to the door wondering what all the commotion was, and he happened to have a baseball bat in his hand, and we just said, uh-oh, Feets, do your stuff. We kind of ran away, very, very afraid. We managed to get away with our lives, and I did not get a tattoo that night. I did manage to go back there during the day, during business hours this time, and I brought my little Rolling Stone insignia, but you know, if you go to a tattoo place, they have all these pictures on the wall. And of course, they had a Rolling Stone tongue on the wall. And I did finally get my my Rolling Stone tattoo, which, no, that's not that one. Right there. I would not recommend getting a tattoo to anybody in this day and age. But if that's your thing, go ahead. And I don't regret it, but it's just there. So that is my record with the funny story behind it. The Rolling Stones, It's Only Rock and Roll. An album you would be surprised to see in my collection. Well, I've got how about a box set of Pavarotti and many, many opera songs on here. I don't listen to this. It's in great condition. I don't know what I picked this up for. Probably about $2. Still got the booklet in it. And I do have a bunch of classical records that I don't show very often. Very often is not at all. But anyways, I do have a bunch of classical records and some operas and Pavarotti. So you might be surprised to see that in my collection. Although, if you know me and you've been following my channel, shouldn't be surprised to see anything that I show. How about some, question number 7, show some cheap heat. Well, how about the average white band, Soul Searching? I picked this up in the Salvation Army. I rarely find anything in the Goodwill shops or the charity shops, but I happened to be dropping some stuff off one day. I brought some records in, and I thought, well, I'm here, I'll go through their collection, and I found 3 records. This one was one of them for $1. Still had the shrink on it, mint condition, and I love the Average White Band. Great Scottish soul band, Soul Searching. Great record. A 45. Well, how about Brian Ferry? It's an extended play. It's got The Price of Love, Shame, Shame, Shame on it, Heart on My Sleeve, and It's Only Love. 4 fantastic covers by Brian Ferry. There he is in all his sartorial glory. Beautiful suit and tie there, which goes in keeping with Mike's thread, which I will get to later on this week. 10 albums with men in suits on the cover, or women in suits. But there you go. Brian Ferry, an extended play in a beautiful cover with a great little write-up on the back, and it's on Island Records. Mint condition. And I don't have very many 45s, so whenever I always fear these questions, show a 45, but I always manage to show one. Next up, favorite musical documentary or biopic. I don't collect any, I don't collect DVDs, and I don't collect VHS tapes. I've got enough problems with collecting albums. That takes up enough room. But, and I don't, I guess the last one that really impressed me was one called 25 Feet from Stardom. Great, great documentary about backing singers, female backing singers who are in their 25 feet from stardom. A little bit about Mary Clayton and a bunch of different background singers who are great singers in their own right, but they never get enough credit, and they add so much to the performances we see. So that is a great documentary. I highly recommend that. I saw that on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not, but maybe it's on YouTube or something. And if you are interested, I would check that one out. Next up is question number 10, show a box set. Well, I don't really buy box sets, and I don't have very many of them, but my brother gave me his collection when he moved back east, and this is a Who box set called Phases, and it has got, it consists of My Generation, a quick one, Who Sell Out, Tommy, Live at Leeds, Who's Next, Quadrophenia, The Who by Numbers, and Who Are You? And it is still sealed. I have all those records in good condition. And this one he picked up for $29 back in the 80s, I would imagine. So I'm really happy to have that. I don't know what it's worth on Discogs. I don't really give a shit, but I have it in my collection, and I always think of my brother when I see that. So thanks, Mark. Another gift from my brother. The most trashed record in your collection. Well, I guess I've got a lot that's got ring wear, but this is the one that I want to show. This is Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. Fantastic record. Great condition on the front, a little bit of ring wear, some on the back, but if you want to just look at the spine here, if you can see that, I'll just pull it out a little bit. And whenever somebody shows a record like that, they always wonder, were rats trying to eat the records or trying to eat the covers? Well, I don't think it's rats, actually. I think it's Colton and Curtis, those cats that do their little scratching thing, you know, like instead of using the scratching posts that we all provide them, no, they want to scratch our spines of our records. So the worst conditioned record in my collection is this one. I've got another cleaner copy, but I'm going to keep them both because I picked this up for like $3 at in a cheapie bin a few years back. Okay, a local album. So I am going to show a record by a local guy called Valdy, Canadian legend. He lives on Salt Spring Island, which is probably about maybe 15 miles from me. Beautiful island. He resides there. He's resided there for a long time. Great singer, songwriter. I bought this for $1 at one of my local record stores. Great song, a great album called Landscapes. I've got about 5 Valdi records. I'm going to pick up more of them as I come across them because they're usually $2 to $5, well worth it. So Valdi, a local artist, BC staple, and he's been around for a long time. I think he had his first hit probably in 1974, still going strong. Valdi. Okay, a record from a faraway land. Well, I'm going to show you this Jethro Tull record, Stand Up, and I don't have too many Japanese pressings, but this is an Australian press. Unfortunately, it's a gatefold, but it doesn't have the pop-up, but I had a chance to buy a Canadian copy without the pop-up, or this one in the same bin that was an Australian press, and I thought it'd be fun to have an Australian press in my collection. So, Far Off Land, Ben Rankin's Australia, Stand Up from Jethro Tull. Great record, by the way. Fantastic record. Soundtrack. How about Midnight Cowboy? This one I bought it as part of a collection, which ended up costing me about 20 cents a piece for the records I kept. Of course, Everybody's Talking is sung by Fred Nelson. Is sung by Nilsson, not Fred Nelson, but written by Fred Neil. The rest of the soundtrack is the soundtrack John Barry doing the scoring and the writing. Great, great movie. I haven't seen this in a long time. I'd love to see it again. John Voight and Dustin Hoffman, of course. Name escaped me for a second. So Midnight Cowboy. Great pictures there. Great soundtrack on United Artists Records. Next, your highest recommendation. Well, as of this moment, I am highly recommending the great R&B singer, Millie Jackson. She's such a sass, I'm telling you. She's, this is called Get It Out Your System. Always writing little satirical songs and nasty, dirty little lyrics. Fantastic singer, great voice. She does not get enough credit for what she's done. I pick up Millie Jackson albums whenever I can. They're usually not very expensive, like, $5 to $15, but I am going to complete my Millie Jackson collection one day, given enough time. So there is my highest recommendation of the day. It could change tomorrow, of course. The highest on my want list. Well, I don't really have a want list, but I was just thinking about this. And I am a Groundhogs freak. I have almost every Groundhogs record except one, and that is Crosscut Saw. And that was recorded in about 1976 or 1977. And I think JT just found a couple of, was it JT? Or maybe it was Martin's vinyl. I shouldn't, or anyways. I should investigate that more. But somebody just showed Crosscut Saw on their channel. It was in beat up condition, but I would have taken it because it's very hard to find. I've never seen it in any of the record stores I've ever been in, but that is probably highest on my want list. Not the most valuable record in the world, but it's I just need to complete my Groundhogs collection. I've already done a channel shout out. And how about a silver lining in vinyl? Well, a silver lining in vinyl is doing videos like this is great, getting the comments and the feedback, but the silver lining is when you actually meet somebody from the vinyl community, which I had an opportunity to do 3 times this summer. I met Art, the North Carolina vinyl picker. First, I met Ben Rankins from Australia. We had lunch together with both those guys, and then I traveled all the way to Natick, Massachusetts to do the MGK kegger party, hosted by none other but Mike Kelly, which was fantastic. And if you ever get a chance to travel to a city and you know that somebody in the VC lives there, why don't you just try to get in contact with them, have a little lunch, a little crate dig, just get to know them. It's fantastic experience, highly recommended. It's the best, and I've got a whole pile of people that I am going to meet somehow. Steve, Steve from All the World's a Stage. I know that Steve is in the midst of retiring. Yeah, he's going through his collection. He is going to be retiring somewhere at a location that I don't want to disclose because I don't have his permission, but I know where he's going. And I know that I travel there, so I'm looking forward to seeing Steve. I want to see Steve Carlson. I want to see JT in Reno. Anyways, all these things are going to happen in time. I'm going to make sure they do. But like I said, if you ever get a chance to meet up with somebody in the VC, you will not regret it. Such a great time, such a great experience. Okay, steal. The last question, not the last question, the second last question is, show a steal of a deal. That's question number 19. Well, how about I found this mint copy, original Canadian pressing of Tracy Chapman's first record. And I got it, bought part of a collection. I got this for $2, mint condition. I see this in the record stores, not all the time. Used copies I'm talking about, because I think it's been repressed. The repress costs enough money, but this one does not have a bad track on it. Talking about Revolution, Fast Car. Every song is brilliant. Great singer-songwriter. It's the only record I have. I'm after some more Tracy Chapman for sure, but $2 for an original Tracy Chapman record in mint condition was a steal of a deal. And finally, show a promo. Well, again, this was, I'm a big fan of the band Family, and this was the last record that I did not have, and I found this at Wax Trax in Denver, Colorado, a white label promo copy of Family, their second record. I think it's called A Song for Me. Fantastic record, fantastic band. It is a white label promo. It's in the original sleeve, of course. On Reprise Records, show that. In, I would say, VG++ condition. So happy to find this to complete my family collection. And there you have it. There's one of the promos. I got lots of promos, by the way. They're not hard to find, but very nice to find that to complete my family collection. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Give me a like. Why don't you subscribe if you haven't subscribed up to this point? I'd really appreciate it. I am getting a little bit closer to 650. Hopefully I'll get there in a couple of months or whatever. I just get my subscribers one hard-fought subscriber at a time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending almost 23 minutes on this video so far. So I am going to call it a day. Till the next time, I am going to do a couple of threads, and I'm going to do a contest entry in the next couple of days. So I will see you soon. Thanks for watching again. Cheers, everybody.